Welcome back to episode 3 of the 20th anniversary Final Fantasy X walkthrough / Let's Play. That tasted bad. Anyways, we are in Besaid, right where we left off. We got a few chests that we can open in this here village. I'm not going to do anything too crazy just yet. There is 3 chests back here that we can open. None of this is really that hidden. It's kind of just, I mean, if you're not looking, but if you're used to playing RPGs, JRPGs, these, you should have found these pretty easily. We talked to Waka about the Crusaders. He said they were over here. This is their tent. We will go here first because there is a Albed primer here. You see that little book right? My foot's right next to it. You can barely see it, but it's there. So you just walk in this corner, hit X. Albed Primer Volume 2. That is letter B. Then we can talk to Luzu and Gata and get a little backstory.
Hey, you! You were attacked by Sin, right? Recently, was it?
I think so.
So, Sin can't be far, right? You're not hiding anything, are you?
Why would I?
If Sin's nearby, it'll attack the island for sure. But it hasn't. I wonder why.
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything. To tell the truth, I don't even know what the Crusaders are.
You're kidding, right?
Sin, the toxin. Gotta tell him who we are.
Yes, sir!
Boy
The
Scout.
Crusaders are sworn to battle Sin. We have chapters throughout Spira, accepting all who wish to join our struggle. The hero Mihen formed the Crusaders 800 years ago as the Crimson Blades. Later, our ranks grew and we called ourselves the Crusaders. We've been fighting Sin ever since.
What? You've been fighting 800 years and you still haven't beat it?
It's a very valid question for someone that doesn't know what
Well,
sin
we've
is.
steered Sin away from towns many times. And that's all we can do. Nobody's ever been able to defeat it. Our mission as Crusaders is to protect the temples, towns, villages, and people of Spira.
So, then whose job is it to defeat Sin?
Is Sin's toxin really this bad, sir?
It does seem rather bad. We could just tell you, but I think it better for you to try and remember. Go pray at the temple. Perhaps Yevon will help you regain your memory.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody that doesn't know what sin is and doesn't understand the religion, and somebody tells you, hey, we've been fighting this thing for 800 years and we haven't beat it yet, that would kind of raise a question of, okay, either you need to change your tactics, stop fighting it, or you're doing something very, very wrong. Hi, kitty cat. These are some ugly cats. There is a save sphere. We're going to save real swift like just because, you know, there's never know. You might get lightning, you might have a system crash, whatever. We're going to save often. What's up, girl? What you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I gave it looking, I think, okay. Whatever.
But soon, we may be able... We've got a plan. One that'll go down in Crusader history.
And see,
We've been excommunicated. We must go, now. Everything is...
Luzu said if Sin's nearby, he would attack the village for sure. Why would he attack the village? The village, they believe that Sin attacks people that use Machina, or Machina. Besaid doesn't use Machina, so why are they so worried about getting attacked? Yeah, I don't know, buddy. Fiends are around even during the day. Take care not to travel alone. Talk to this little kid. Come back here. You can buy stuff from her. Not really anything of importance, but that is an item shop. I don't know if you can hear it yet, but if you listen, you might be able to hear a dog barking. That dog will be very important. Yep, right here. Can't do anything with the doggo yet, besides make him run from you. But he will be very important here in a little while. This here is Waka's tent, I think. Yes. This is Waka's tent. We'll go talk to him.
Go present yourself to the temple.
I forgot. We gotta go visit the temple first. My bad. There's not anything else in the village. Those 3 treasure chests over there and the Albed primer is the only thing of importance right now. Yeah, I mean, imagine waking up from a coma after 30 years and someone telling you about a new religion. Like, it's a lot to take in for someone that
It was
doesn't
then,
understand.
standing in that place.
I see Shiva, and
I began to realize how different this world was from my own.
I don't know who that is. Maybe a final Aeon? Or maybe that's Lady Unaleska and Zion. Oh wait, y'all don't know anything about that yet. My bad! Ignore that I said both those words. They don't mean anything to you. We know who this is, though.
10 years have passed since Lord Braska became High Summoner. And finally, we receive a statue for our temple.
Well, what's a high summoner?
The gasp.
I got too close to Sin's toxin.
And then it goes from, oh my god, what are you talking about, to, oh, bless your heart. They all
It
turned
was
into
funny
Texans.
hearing myself make the same excuse over and over. Funny, and a little sad.
The Summoners are practitioners of a sacred art, sworn to protect the people of Yevon. Only a chosen few become Summoners, who call forth entities of great power, the Aeons. The Aeons hear our prayers and come down to us. They are the blessing of Yevon.
Kind of like the last Airbender.
So what he meant
Like they get reincarnated.
was that we should respect some kind of great men, or something like that, I figured.
That's a girl. You got a guy, a girl, and a guy, and then a guy. Yeah, I mean, they can be girls. Alright, if you go check the summoner quarters over here, some of them have treasure chests. Not all of them, but some of them do. I don't think this one, yeah, this one doesn't. That guy was searching for a cure for us. Apparently there's not a cure for Sin's toxins, amnesia, toxic amnesia. And then there's also, sometimes there's a couple of the temples where there's chests over here in the sides, but not this one. And yeah, there's... Okay, so yeah, neither one of these rooms, this temple doesn't have anything. So I can't remember the specifics. Alright, now we should be able to go talk to Mr. Waka again, and he says the most... He says the most... what's the word I'm looking for? Contradictory sentence in the entire game. Listen to this.
Sorry, man. No time for lunch yet. Take a nap. You look bushed.
No time to eat, but take a nap. I don't know about y'all, but it takes me a lot less time to eat than it does take a nap. But whatever, we're gonna take a nap.
You could at least go see how they are doing.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
But it's been nearly.
It's been nearly.
But it's been nearly.
It's been nearly a day already.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching for him now.
Thank you.
Pay very close attention to that scene.
Who cares whether he comes back or not?
But he might die.
Fine, let him.
Do you hate him so? But if he dies, You'll never be able to tell him how much you hate him.
That was little us talking to our mom. Our father went out to sea to train and hasn't come back.
Waka?
But Tidus is about to do something that's out of character for Tidus. So far, Tidus has been kind of passive, kind of staying in his own lane because he doesn't really know what he's doing, where he's at, how their stuff works. But I believe because of that dream he just had of his mom asking, will you go look for them? And her being concerned that he might die is the reason that he does what he's about to do for the summoner. Just a thought. That's the whole purpose of this video series. The game's been out for 20 years. Everyone's developed their own theories. That's my theory. I think Tidus's dream gave him the inkling, the courage, the whatever it is to do this right here.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond is where the apprentice summoner prays. If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
So someone is in there somewhere and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
Makes sense.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
See, that's out of character for Tidus up to this point. And I feel like him running in like that
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all.
Like, he literally just had a dream that was almost a mirror image of what was happening with his dad. So this is the Cloister of Trials. There is many of these through the game. Each one of them is leading up to getting an Aeon. You have to get these spheres and put them in fancy spots and make them glow and touch them. Yes, you have to touch the balls. Get over it. Oh yeah. And make... It's basically a puzzle. It's a puzzle with glowing balls. It's like a chassis belt. This one's pretty easy. They get progressively harder as the game goes on. Fun fact, the first time I played this game, I went in this thing and I looked and looked and looked and looked and could not find out. I touched this wall 1,000 times. I went down the stairs a freaking handful of times. I took this little glimpse out, like, yeah, you got glimpse sphere opens the chamber of faith, destruction sphere opens the hidden treasure, and the Besaid spheres are also necessary. So the glimpse spheres are basically just placeholders, and then the destruction spheres will be used to get a hidden item. But anyways, in the original, when I first played this, I ran around forever, and I never realized that this was here. Like, the camera angle tricks you because you can't see that staircase there. And I was like 9 years old, and it took me way longer than it should have to figure out there was a staircase here. But anyways, you come down here and you put the glint sphere in this door, and it opens. No magic. All right, and then you got a spot here to put a glint. You got a little box here. You can touch this symbol. That will open a door to another sphere. So this is the destruction sphere. Oh, I know this is the Besaid sphere. Come on. Let's smoke crack. Yeah, you can't do that yet. So we'll put the Besaid sphere here. Yeah. So you put the Besaid sphere there, and it opens the magical doorway. Alright, so every time you get a destruction sphere, or every cloister has a destruction sphere, and you can either take the easy route to the finish, or you can use the destruction sphere, which normally makes you have to backtrack. But I would recommend, while you're at the Cloister of Trials every time, to go ahead and get the destruction sphere and get the hidden item, because getting the hidden item in every Cloister of Trials will allow us to get a hidden Aeon on a side quest. You remember where Baj Temple, where we came right after we got off the ship with Riku? There is an Aeon there, and to get him, you have to successfully use the destruction sphere in every Cloister of Trials. And you can go back and do them, but it takes a lot of running around, and it's easier to do them as you go. So that's what we're doing now. This one's pretty simple. You take the destruction sphere, you put it there, and it blows up this pretty little wall, and you get some items. It also gives you fairly good items for this early in the game. Obtained a Rod of Wisdom. You obtain a hidden item by using the destructive sphere. Little Easter egg. It's like a 5-minute early Easter egg, but if you go to items, oh wait, no, not items. Wait. Maybe it is items. Yes. So if you go to items and equipment, and you go to the Rod of Wisdom, it says Yuna. Even though we don't have anybody in our party right now named Yuna, it kind of tells us that we're going to eventually get someone named Yuna that uses staffs. So, I mean, it's not really Easter egg because we're literally about to meet Yuna, but just a fun little tit-tat. So we push this onto the box, and that's it. That cloister's super easy.
It's into you. Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very important.
So why weren't you here,
So what
Waka?
about you?
You're a guardian, why weren't you here?
Me? I'm a guardian.
Too busy playing blitzball?
A guardian?
Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a sure fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we come this far, might as well go all the way.
So I'm gonna pause it real quick, because another theory of mine is they've been in here for over a day. Yuna's been in there praying for over a day, has not been able to successfully become a summoner. For those of us that have beat the game, that know the story, we know that Tidus is not here by accident. As soon as he shows up, the faith reveals itself to Yuna. Yuna successfully becomes a summoner. So the faith knowing what we know, and us knowing who Tidus is, was the faith waiting on Tidus to arrive for Yuna to be able to become a summoner? Or is it a coincidence? Am I thinking too much into it? What are y'all's thoughts? Let me know. Comment down below. Like, there's a lot of lore to this game. There's a lot of different ways that it can be taken. I feel like us knowing and the faith knowing what's coming, what's happening, why Tidus is here, the faith was waiting on Tidus to appear before it showed itself to Yuna.
What are you doing here? Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
No, it's just...
Cool scene, gotta get rid of the face cam.
I told you she gets mad easy.
Tidus looks at Kamari because he was thinking that's who Waka was talking about.
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
See, literally, as soon as Tidus shows up, she completes the trial and becomes a summoner. And they've been there for over a day. That can't be a coincidence. Tidus also has a wet spot right now. Such a pretty scene.
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
I love this game so much.
Man, was I surprised. And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
Alrighty. Don't talk about my transgressions. I do what I want, son. Hey, I gotta go through the door, not to the wall. So yeah, Tidus thought they were all a bunch of old people, and then here comes this really hot girl coming out, and he's like, "Oh,
Hey, over here!
I need to give him some napkins."
What? Ow!
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
Now we get to meet
Ready.
our first Aeon.
Okay.
Aeon that has made many appearances in many Final Fantasy games. Not my favorite by far, but one of a lot higher on my list of favorites in this game than as a whole. Like, Inference probably one of my favorite Aeons in Final Fantasy, but I don't really like him in this game. I really like Valor in this game though. Just think, that used to be a person. Well, so much for spoiling. Anyways, I'm adding to the story while spoiling. It's a faith. It's like a really, really crazy looking phoenix. It's just like a big puppy.
I had never seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it.
Dude, I would be freaked out. Like, coming from Xanarkand with technology and never seeing anything like that, here comes this big giant bird coming out of the sky. Like, I would be terrified. How am I supposed to know it's friendly? Valor. Not renaming it. They're gonna be
I
Valor.
remember that night we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone. For me.
Let me introduce you to the team. This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team.
Yeah, that's what happened.
His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best!
Victory! Victory!
No, we got a new goal now. Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh?
Meanwhile, Tidus is daydreaming about Una.
Victory! 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 Victory!
So goofy. All right, so real quick, about to end this episode. So if you notice just then, like when Tidus is doing the narrating, he's speaking in past presence. Like he said, we talked for the first time that night. So all of this gameplay we're doing right now is a flashback. If you remember at the very entry credits, he walks up to the top of the hill and he says, listen to my story. This may be the last chance we have. At that point, we go back. So everything that we're playing right now, everything we're doing up until we get to that point in the game where he walks up to that hill and says that is all a flashback. We're living it real time, but the narrating and everything, all this has actually already happened. That's why he's talking in third person. That's something I didn't really put together until after I played the game a couple times. It seemed kind of inconsistent, and then I realized, oh, it's not real time. He starts the story in Xanarkand on that hilltop and tells us everything that happened. We're just playing it as he's telling it. So if you were confused by the third person talking, if you were confused by the past tense terminology, that's why. I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting to think about a lot of stuff, and I haven't played this game in a while, so a lot of things are trying to turn in my head, and I'm thinking about a lot of stuff that I've thought about in the past, and there's some new things coming to light. I just like talking about the lore and some of how I feel and why certain things work the way they work, why certain things happen, and what Tidus may be thinking. I may be looking into it way too much. I know it's a video game, but this game holds a very, very, very close part to my heart. So I really like looking into it. I like thinking about the lore, thinking about what the developers were thinking when they made this. And I really hope y'all are watching. I'm going to try to push these videos out as fast as possible. I'm recording multiple at a time, and we'll try to get around to editing them. So if y'all are really liking this, let me know in the comments. Like the video. Please, them likes really make a difference. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button. I need the subs. And as always, may the Force be with you. Or better yet, may Yevon be with you. Peace.